Oh, hi!
Hi. Hello. Oh, that's me. I gotta do stuff, don't I? I dropped my little stuffed animals and everything. Hi. Welcome to the final session of the Blighted North. We are live here on GutPunchRP. Thank you for tuning in. We are a TTRPG streaming channel doing, raising charity stuff. Money for charity. That's how you say it. I'll eventually learn. Okay, but our charity goal, we hit 250, which was our goal for this half of the quarter. So thank you everyone for donating. But you can still donate through the 31st, I do believe, when we will do the drawing, and you have the chance to win both of these cute little guys, little tentacle kitty, plushy owl bear. Sorry. But yeah, so thank you. Hopefully we can get up a little bit above 250 and just keep that going. And then when we start our summer stuff, new prizes. So there's that. What else we got? We are sponsored by Dungeons Gate, local Midwest gaming store. I did not open my shit at all, did I? Oh, We're raising money for the Transgender Law Center also. That's what we're doing. And they work on changing laws and helping people be able to live their true, authentic lives, no matter what their expressions are. Then we are sponsored, going into that now, by Dungeons Gate, a local Midwest gaming store. They have books, they have minis, they have D&D TTRPG accessories. They have a lot of D&D stuff though, and other cool things like graphic novels and also other TTRPGs. That's all I got. But you can type ! Charity to find out more about the charity, ! Donate to donate to the charity, ! Dungeons Gate to find out more about Dungeons Gate, where if you go ahead and enter our name, GutPunchRP, at checkout, you get 10% off items that are not already on sale. Smooth, worked it. So we'll go around and do introductions just to start off like every time. I am Kai. I am the GM. I'm doing great, not nervous at all. You can find me online at Kyla Creative, and I'll kick it over to D.
Oh, hello, my lovely children of the dark. My name is D. You can find me all over the internet at It's the Riddler, and tonight I will be playing Patches, the Path of the Beast Barbarian. And I will pass it down the line to, oh, this is why you have your streamer beforehand, over to Mathia.
Hello, I am Jess, or Jessica. You can find me on the things and the stuff as Dr. Psychowl, except for on Twitter where I'm Dr. Psychowl TV. Tonight I will be playing Mathia Frostforge via Mello, the Forge Domain Cleric, and I will pass it over to Zach.
I am Zach. I go by the gaming author everywhere on the internet, and tonight I will be playing Zadrin Moonforge, the half-elf armor artificer, and I am in no way, shape, or form mentally or emotionally prepared for this to be the last time I play him. So I will then throw this off to C.
Howdy everyone. I'm sweaty, but I'm sweaty, but my name is C. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at PieSharpArt. Tonight I have the absolute pleasure of playing Solar, who is a half-dragonborn ranger druid, and their companion Moon, who is a polar bear. I'm actually playing Moon. Solar is just there so that I'm allowed to play a polar bear. And I'll pass it back to our lovely GM to get things started, because like I said, I'm sweaty and I'm ready.
All right. So we'll get right into the recap then. They've been up to some stuff. If I knew where I was. So we started out not long ago in the town of Gladgar. The adventuring party had heard of lucrative contracts clearing up some sort of darkness in the woods. Coming to town, they found it was much more than that and something much more sinister. And also, it impacted their good friend Patches quite a bit. So they struck out into the woods to investigate. They found the woods choked by an ever-present dark cloak that encircled it. It seemed to make the animals incredibly vicious and going against their general nature. They met animals that were specifically sort of attached to Shar and begin to see even more of this picture as it zoomed out a little bit, and they saw that they were caught between gods. After a particularly vicious fight, they were blessed. They were blessed by Shar's sister, Selune, with a gift of rest and strength. And then they went forward into town, Zadrin's hometown, Khelornë, which, while quiet, was generally untouched except for the long hall, where they found a gigantic wolf that they had seen before and almost taken down. And the Arch Druid of Khelornë, Erden, who gave his little villain speech and singled out Zadrin, of course. And then they came to blows. Gotta fight the bad guy. So Erdrin mostly fell until it seemed that he was picked up by his god, kind of solidified, and then sucked through the portal. And that brings us to now, where you have just seen that happen, and you are standing around a little bit, perhaps in shock, maybe bleeding pretty badly, depending on who you are. You are in this room that is still crackling with magic, as the portal continues to just do little pulses now, and still has that beam of energy shooting straight up and seeming to feed or expand this dark miasma that is completely encircling the forest. What are you doing right now?
Well, that probably wasn't good.
No, I don't think so.
Most assuredly not.
How do we stop this?
I don't think magic is working on it. Not at least from the outside. My spell got dispelled like it was simple, like it was child's play, like it was a cantrip.
Your spell got... Okay, so hearing that, I immediately run up to the portal and cast Identify on it.
Okay, I mean, it's a portal between realms. It's set up in a way that is like, it is both the architecture and a great deal of magic just holding it steady. With the Identify, you can see that it's kind of tied to Shar's power. It's more of like a divine gate situation, and you can't just dispel a god like that.
Does the Identify reveal where, like, what plane it leads to?
It does not.
Okay.
If someone wants to roll an Arcana check, maybe you can guess the plane of dominion that Shar is overseeing.
I'll go ahead and give that a shot. Okay, I don't hate it. 17.
Yeah, you would guess it's probably something maybe Shadowfelly. Yeah, that's where Shar likes to hang out when she's not trying to break through and murder everyone.
Oh, well, this is alarmingly far beyond me. There's no way I can shut this down from this side.
But maybe we follow the guy who can, right? He went through there, I think.
Willingly or not, yeah.
And Solar is gonna furrows their brow and starts to look around, since this seemed to be some kind of headquarters of the Arch Druid that we just fought. And we'll just kind of start tearing around the room, like opening things as fast as they can, like looking around for research notes or like any kind of resource that might be here.
I want to do a perception check.
I'd like to help with that if I could.
Absolutely. You can both roll or do an advantage.
Take advantage, friend.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. Okay, not bad, not bad. 18 total.
All right, as you are looking around, first there's just like a setup of the room that you're noticing. This altar that they had was kind of raised, and the portal is sitting atop there. There's nothing, no other stone matching it, so it obviously was brought in. It wasn't here the whole time. The table that was sitting in front of that had runes cast on the side. You don't super recognize the runes. You're guessing it's an incredibly old language, maybe something closer to Infernal than anything else. But as you're continuing to look around the room, you notice in the one fireplace, there is some paper that has been burned. Like, they were done with what they were doing and just getting rid of any, like, additional scribbles. So this couldn't come out in a way that was unfavorable to them. Finally, as you're just tearing through boxes, you do find one scroll, a magical scroll, that has a mass cure wounds on it. It was well hidden in its own little box. You kind of get that he was saving it for his and his most loyal, possibly at this end that they were seeking. But you have that. Otherwise, there's not really any weapons of interest. There's a few, like, garbage suits of armor that were probably just taken off people, you know.
Mm-hmm. I think with that solar, like, their fingers a little bit sooty from trying to, like, look at the burned pieces of paper and getting not much from it. Turns to Mathia and is like, I have a happy end of the world. Here's a gift for you. And hands you the mass cure wound scroll.
I take it, and we're all looking a little worse for wear. It may be a good idea that we do this now.
Agreed.
I would.
Agreed. And I'm just kind of stepping back from the portal, still kind of in shock at just how far beyond this thing is.
Let's do it.
That is 24 points of healing to everybody.
Nice. Nice.
And I will, Zadrind, are you still bolstered from your earlier, work? Mechanically, do you still have temporary hit points?
Yeah.
Okay, then you know what? Okay. Patches, are you okay?
Yes.
Excellent. I will cast so Mathia goes to her pouch and she pulls out a really small piece of white cloth, and embroidered, like hand embroidered in the corner, is a little anvil and a hammer in this nice gold thread. And you see the letters of MFV underneath it. She puts it in her hand, and then looks down, and her hand starts to glow. And she walks over and just kind of like takes your hand and then also Zadrin's and kind of puts them both in hers, and that glow emanates from her hands and in through your hands. And I cast Aid at 4th level, so everybody, the three of us, get 15 hit points, but 15 temporary as well. So you heal for 15 and then you add 15 temp to it.
Nice. Okay. And as you three are standing there and this spell is going off, you start to notice just a little bit at your feet, the dust on the floor starts kind of getting sucked towards the portal in that cyclonic sort of way. And it gets a little stronger.
I think think it wants us to go in.
Well, far be it from me to deny the ones who destroyed my home an opportunity to fight me again over it face to face.
Today is a good day to die.
It won't be in vain.
Indeed not.
The goal is not only to kill, but to live after.
Somebody needs to remember what happened. Somebody needs to remember everyone who died. We'll remember. All 4 of us. 5. Sorry, Moon.
And your hair is being whipped, and the fabric that billows around you is being pulled a little bit now. You're having to grind your feet in as the wind continues to pick up and begins to pull you slowly towards this portal.
Well, no time like the present, and I just immediately sprint and dive for the portal.
I'm gonna just real quick grab Solar and just like eye contact. In the event that I do not make it out, please go to the world's end. Find my mothers. Find Corbilda and Balfreya. Tell them that I did good. And then I run into the portal.
I really just screamed and I'm glad my mic was off. Solar takes that like a prayer that they like press against their chest almost. They look at Patches and they offer their hand. You want to ride Moon in?
Yes, that sounds fun.
Okay. I don't think I can do this without my best friends, so I need you. Thank you.
Patches will take the mask off and snap it in half and pull their hair back into a ponytail and say, "Thank you, friend."
To oblivion. And Solar kicks up onto Moon, makes sure Patches is there, and rides into the portal.
All right. You come through the portal and you kind of just have this moment of being absolutely like frozen in space and time a little bit as you just almost feel the immediate reversal of that wind that you were feeling on the other side, and you are all scattered around this board. So we'll just go kind of be random. We got one there. And no one will take any damage, and as you are just beginning to get to your feet, you notice kind of right in front of the portal, there is the heap of like blue and green clothing and that staff that's kind of been broken asunder and sundered, the sort of broken form of the Arch Druid. And it's sort of, it almost seems to be vibrating with magic as you look at it and begin to pull yourselves up onto your feet. And then for a moment, again, you kind of feel like the wind is just standing still in the space where it had just been dissipating and lightly blowing. Rising from that man, from that pile of clothing, growing in form, in size, all of a sudden standing in front of that portal, blocking most of anyone's view, is a huge form, just a little guy. Ghostly and horrifying. It wears sort of like almost the face of the Arch Druid with that jaw hanging down. Just had Patches had begun to rip it off a little bit, and it kind of looks around at all of you very slowly in this moment where the sand and little bits of dust are just sort of standing still in front of your faces. And then a surge of magic seems to happen, and again, the form in front of you changes ever so slightly. But it's kind of like a very pale overlay, and it's the overlay of this both beautiful and horrific face, just incredibly pale with sunken parts and dark features, but still somewhat beautiful. And it begins to speak in a mix of two voices. The voice of this Arch Druid, and then the voice that some of you heard, that was the voice of Shar. And they're overlaid and mixing together and kind of going back and forth. But it's mostly Shar who is speaking to you now, imperiously and alluringly, and saying, "You all of you, will be twice blessed when I'm through with you. For you will see a god return to this world as I walk over your fallen bodies through that gate." And she peers around, making sure to take in people over her shoulders without turning her body at all. It just has a very, eerie, overextended feel to it. "My dear sister Selune will not be able to stop me. Darkness shall fall upon this earth, and the followers of the light will see. They will let me into their hearts. And I shall give you one more chance. Do you wish to die foolishly this day, standing against my inevitable will? Or will you marry your strength to my own and join me in the night?" And she very distinctly holds her hand out sort of in the directions that Patches fell, but is looking at all of you. And has just a little bit of a smirk on her face.
I think a good friend of mine said it best. Go fuck yourself.
"Never hurts to ask," she says with a laugh, and just kind of the magic that was that overlay sort of coalesces and then explodes outward. And we'll roll initiative with that. Playing a game.
And they roll double digits for initiative!
You know, I'm glad someone rolled well on initiative. That's good. That's reassuring. I like that.
Same. I'm glad.
Okay, guys. Okay. You're fighting a bad guy. You gotta roll well. All right.
Really, Kai? Is that the stance you of all people want to take?
I'll say it. That doesn't mean I'm gonna do it. Okay, so what do we have? Anyone 25 through 20? Okay, all right. 19 through 15. I believe in you guys.
Is the high initiative roll in the room with us right now?
I mean, they're in the room with me, I guess. Okay, what'd you guys get? I don't want to do this.
14.
14? Okay.
9.
9.
11.
Who has a better dex of the 2 9s?
I assume Patches.
I got a +2.
Yeah, Patches.
And it was 7 for solar, correct?
11.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right, so as this form has kind of gone back to being this absolutely terrible jaw hanging off, kind of the face of someone you once knew, overlaid with this bit of skull mask, it has let out this very beautiful, seductive laugh, and now is just the form of horror. And it goes the very first, and I should have looked. I did not expect to go first. Why am I the DM? All right. It is going to go ahead. And what kind of save is that? Sort of float this way over here and taking a pose in front of Zadrin, just floating in its ghastly form. It will just go ahead and not do that. That's terrible. Yeah, it is going to start off by doing a very light, it reaches out its hand and a sort of ghastly hand comes off of that and just lightly grabs your arm as it tries to hit you with this paralyzing touch. Which it'll get a dirty 20 to hit.
Just hits.
All right. So that will just be 10 points of cold damage. But then I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw of 18.
Oh boy. Okay. You know what? No, that's 10 and Constitution saving throw. Oh, yay! Actually, have decent bonus. That is going to be 24.
Okay, all right. Will you feel this kind of freezing cold enter your body and try and grip at your spine? And you just sort of shiver and shake it off, and you feel that like hand that was trying to grab you sort of break spectrally. But that thing is directly in front of you, sort of leering with that broken face of someone who was once a guy you probably respected, generally. But that'll bring us to... I don't know, that's not a thing that I'm trying to do. Yep, that'll bring us to the next and the top of initiative, ye old layer action, as you just kind of feel the space that you're standing in pulse with magic. The sort of henstones around that portal glow in a sort of like ghastly glowing black, you know, when it's black and then it has the white outline sort of thing, as they release a crackling cord of negative energy sort of forms around the rocks, goes up above, and just shoots out, hitting 2 people. It will go between... Is that right? 5, 10... That's too far. Between the Lich and Mathia. And that is going to be a Constitution 18 saving throw to save from this beam that is trying to attach you to this horrible creature.
It's a nat 1 for a total of 3.
Okay, come on now. Okay. All right. So you are now connected to this creature, and when it takes damage, you will have to make another Constitution saving throw to see if you can resist also taking damage for that. I'll try and remember. I won't, though. All right, so that is the layer. That is the bad guy, and that brings us to Zadrin with patches on deck. No, solar on deck. I'll get it.
Existential dread intensifies.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, right in front of me. It is all the way in front of me. Actually, I can't really quite see on the angle of what actually is the distance between me and this monstrosity.
5 feet.
5 feet, okay.
There's 1 square between you.
Okay. This is where I don't want to be, but I still have quite a few artificer shenanigans up my sleeve, so I'm going to open this up by casting Mirror Image.
Solid.
And pray that this doesn't have like True Sight or something. But with me and my 3 little shadow clones... I'm actually gonna... Oh, I'm gonna hope this works. I'm gonna just spend my rest of my movement just running towards Mathia.
It's 30.
Yes.
So you kind of bob and weave, and I think that gets you to right there. I feel like I messed up a count already. All right, but do I have a thing that I can do with this guy? Like, I feel like he should just have Warcaster. Like, I should just be able to throw a spell at you, right? Let's see. No, I won't do it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll say you get away. I don't know how to run D&D. It's fine. He kind of like looks down and slowly follows you with his head. The like broken jaw makes it look very much like he's surprised this is happening. Like, how could you be running from him? But yeah, anything else for your turn?
Nope. That's it. The power of nope compels me.
That was it. Yeah, you got it. All right, let's just look that up. All right, but here we are on to Solar with Patches on deck.
Solar is on top of Moon, orienting themselves, and I think like they're just gonna start to move a little bit, bracing on Moon's back as they're coming forward, and as they do so, they have about 30 feet of movement to start, but I am going to cast, using my bonus action, Zephyr Strike, which means I move like the wind until the spell ends. My movement does not provoke opportunity attacks, and my speed increases by 30 feet until the end of my turn. So I'm going to move. Well, first, what I'm going to do is, as Solar like gets ready, I think they get up and they actually stand on Moon's back, where they have one foot on her haunches and one foot kind of on her spine, and they pull up that bow they had just like gotten.
Nice.
And they could feel like the energy kind of thrumming off of it, and they like knock an arrow, pull it back, and they can see like they're aiming for that loose part of the jaw all the way over. And Zephyr Strike will give me advantage on this weapon attack. So,
nice.
Let's see. Okay, no nat 20, but 23 to hit.
23 will hit as the arrow just flies
Beautiful.
through the air and crashes into this thing's chest.
Beautiful. That is going to be 11 points of force, 8 points of force damage and 3 points of piercing damage. Sorry. I can't do basic math. 7 points of piercing damage and 8 points of force damage.
Nice.
Okay. All right. And with that little bit of damage, Mathia, you also similarly feel the thunk of an arrow in your chest as you will have to roll that thing that I asked for. What was it? Constitution saving throw?
19.
All right. You pass, but you will take the 7 points of damage from that. Of the piercing variety. All right. And then where did you want to go? Because, like, you can pretty much get up here, but do you want to, like, use anything as cover, go a different direction, strafe?
Can I get up to the top of the, like, hill that's there? Right in the middle? Just about.
Yeah, we can get you on top of there.
Beautiful. And that'll be my turn.
All right, excellent. So then we are going to Patches with Mathia on deck.
Okay, on Patches' turn, do I see a physical, like, object or thing? You said that this purple energy connecting my friend and Big Baddie was a stone?
No, it is just like the layer powered it in a way that was coming off of the henge-shaped stones that were around.
Gotcha,
but no,
gotcha.
it kind of looks like a witch bolt if you would have seen a witch bolt previously.
Gotcha. It doesn't look like I could smash something to stop that from happening.
No, probably not.
Roger that. Well, in that case, Patches does one thing, so I'm gonna get really angry. And when I fly into a rage, I will then I'll jump I'll make a jumpy. I'll run 10 feet, then jump. My base jump stat is a 20 at base, and we're going to add another 20 feet. So is 40 feet enough to get me over there?
It'll get you just short. It's like 10 feet short.
Fantastic. And since my tail has a 10-foot reach, I'll do some schwangs. All right. Let's see here. Reckless, because that's the life we're living. That's a dirty 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
Fantastic. And then for the second attack, that is another dirty 20 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So, where are my 8s? Here we go. Modifiers. How to do math. You have to use the numbers. So it's 21 points of damage across the 2 attacks.
All right. And as you are slashing out at this, Mathia, you are feeling the phantoms of these attacks across your chest. And I will have you again roll that Constitution saving throw.
9.
Oh, little buddy. That was 21 points of damage, correct?
Yes.
All right. You failed this. Okay, yes. Then you will take the half that damage for half of the damage. Okay. I'm fine at math. It's fine. Okay. And anything else, Patches, from you?
No, that will be my turn.
All right. So then we are on to Mathia, with it starting back at the top after that.
Okay. First things first, gonna run forward 30 feet.
Okay. Like there.
Okay. I'm gonna bonus action Misty Step myself so that I am kind of like flanking with Patches.
Okay. So like up behind this wall.
Yeah.
All right, Scooch.
And I'm gonna try to hit it with
Okay.
my mace.
All right, go ahead and mace hit him.
11 to hit.
That will in fact not hit. As you kind of pull your punches, you have felt everything that hits this lich also hit you thus far. All right.
That's it.
Okay, so we come back to the top, and the lich sort of like looks around slowly at you and back at Patches, and for just half a second, that face, that like beautiful, ethereal, terrifying face of the goddess, kind of reappears and just gives you a smile, Patches, and just says, "You were one of my most beautiful and favorite. Shame you're so strong-willed." And they're gonna do something that involves not you, though. So then they're gonna kind of just very lazily turn their back on you as though they have not a care in the world. And they are going to... Where is this spell? It is... What size? They are going to, after turning their back on Patches, just start to float away.
I would love to use my reaction to take an opportunity attack.
Absolutely, go right ahead.
$18 to hit.
18 will hit, yes.
Okay. So I reach out and grab it and cast Inflict Wounds for 12 points of necrotic damage.
All right. And while it still damages it, the necrotic damage does a little bit less than you would like. And you said 12, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you don't have anything that's going to stop it in its tracks, correct?
Correct.
All right, so it just kind of gives you this glance, as you still also do have to make that saving throw to see if you take any of the 6 points of damage from it.
I will, because that's a nat 1.
All right, so you will take the 3 points of damage here. As it just kind of chuckles in that weird mix of voices as the mask of the goddess kind of fades off again and just has that broken jaw. And it turns and faces all of you just like this. And I actually don't think I can get everyone in here. And right over here in this direction, I think this one's too big. Ugh. All of my little things. It is going to cast Cloud Kill right on top of you guys. Just a little guy. It's just a little guy. All right. So you are in this cloud that is sort of like, it feels almost like the ground here cracks and just a little bit of fog starts to come up and surround you. And it is a 20-foot thingy. Is this thing 20 feet or is this bigger? This is 30, right, Jess?
Yeah, I believe so. That's
okay. Let me see if this one's 20 feet. Yes, this one is 20 feet, so it is just going to be a circle instead of a square, but it is right now a cloud that is coming up from the ground to sort of surround you two, and at the start of your turns, you have to make saves for that. But let me double check as I read this. That's correct, yeah. Yep, absolutely. So, we will do saves when we get to your guys' turn, as this Lich just sort of has floated its way over here, cast this, and looks back at all of you as the ground once again begins to shake a little bit. And we are doing... Can I do that? No, we don't want to do that yet. Alright, as the... Lich once again sort of lifts its hand, and around the hinges in the middle, that same black energy sort of begins to swirl up a little bit. And as that black energy again comes up from the floor, it now connects two different people, and it will connect this awful creature and... Zadrin. Zadrin's right there, I guess. So they just kind of like look at Zadrin and be like, your town would be much more lovely if you just let me have it. And it's again in that overlay of the two voices, but mostly now the face that's looking down at you is the face of the Arch Druid, still broken. All right, and that is that, and that is that. And then we are going to go ahead, and it is now Zadrin's turn to respond to that with Solar on deck.
The only one here who is going to have any say in what Khelornë looks like after we're done with you is me. And I'm going to dodge roll out of the Cloud Kill, which is a what saving throw?
It will be Cloud Kill. A Constitution saving throw of that 18 again.
Okay, 16 plus 7 is going to give us a nice little 23.
All right. Roll my dice. All right, 8. Okay, so you take half of 23, so that'll be 11 points of poison damage.
Okay.
as the cloud is just sort of slowly billowing there, still coming up from the cracks in the ground as you dive out of it. Just coughing a little from the residual cloud in your lungs.
So yeah, I have to move like 5 feet to the right. And because the weird necrotic bond or negative energy bond is now between me and this thing, do I see any evidence that it's still also connected to Mythia?
It is not. Like, it had a visual, just like the,
Okay.
you know.
Like Witch Bolt. Okay.
Yeah.
That means that I don't have to feel any guilt about doing this. I am going to hit this fucker with a 2nd level catapult.
Okay.
So that is a 17 dexterity saving throw.
17 dexterity. All right. Hopefully this lich can move its bottom. Oh. I doubt that is that good. What are we up to? It is gonna go ahead and burn a legendary resistance on that one. So it passes, but it sort of, whatever you're doing sort of hits it, and it just kind of has to flex, and you see magic coming out to sort of surround it as it shakes off a little bit of this.
Oh. If it's... What's this?
Taken half.
Evidently, it just misses? Because I'm not seeing a failed or on a successful save. I'm not seeing any like half damage. So
Which spell is this?
catapult.
I feel like that's correct.
It might be a save or suck.
Yeah.
Because that's the 2nd level one, right?
All right.
Yeah, it's looking like save or suck. So then bonus action defensive field.
Okay. Yeah, is that this whatever you threw at it, this like rock from the ground just sort of crumbles against this magic that it brings up to defender's self. You then go into a defensive position and sort of guard yourself against this monster who is just sort of looking at you in a little bit of a bemused way. All right, and that will bring us to Solar with Patches on deck.
Okay. We are still, well, actually, let me make my con save at the top, yeah? For Cloud Kill?
Yes, thank you. For what?
Yeah, no problem. This is 12.
Okay. Oh, why did I put those dice?
Reaction, flash of genius, takes it to 12, 16?
18 is the save.
Uh,
Alright. So, let me just get the dice back out. Sure, goddamn cloud kill, it just should stay open. That's 4, and it's a 5.
Terrifying amount of dice that you just grabbed.
It's just 5. I'm just like, I gotta touch all of them very
Just
loudly.
5 dice.
Okay, so we have, that is a 10, 20, 28, 34 points of poison damage.
Ow.
Okay. Yeah, but are you diving out of this cloud in a particular direction?
Right at it. I think like as this mist comes up, like a bad dream, Solar and Moon just kind of barrel out of it with Moon's like claws and jaws like snarling open, snapping up at this Lich. And I'm gonna do Moon's turn first, so
Absolutely.
she'll take 2 attacks real fast.
Okay.
That's gonna be a natural 18 on the dice for the first one.
Absolutely.
And for the second one, I don't know if that'll hit. Well, that'll be also an 18 actually, +7 to hit.
That will hit, yeah.
I love being a bear. She's so much better at this than me. So that'll be 18 points of piercing damage total for Moon.
And Moon's attacks count as magic, correct?
They do count as magical, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm high enough level as a ranger for that.
All right. And as this bear's jaws clamp down on like the flesh of this monstrosity, Zadrin, you also feel the phantom jaws close around your leg, as I'll need you to make that Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy. The street comes to an end. What's the 7? It was 18, same as everything else, yeah? Yeah.
Mhm.
Nope. 10.
All right. How much damage was that, Solar?
It was 18 points of damage total.
All right, so you will take 9 points of damage from the bear.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I'm doing math. What is that? 30. Okay, there we go. Doing math. All right. Anything else from... Oh, Solar's whole turn. There we go.
Yeah, now it's time for me to be my actual character. While we're right there up on it, I don't think I'm taller than it because that mini is gigantic, but I am going to use... let me make a con check to see if my Zephyr step is still up, and it is not. I do break concentration on that. So I will just take my 2 swipes with my lance. That is almost definitely not going to hit unless its AC is 11. And the second one is also not going to hit.
Ooh.
So Moon, again, better at doing damage than Solar is.
Yeah, Moon's just going to town, and you're kind of swinging out with the lance, and there's just a little too much movement from the mountain. It just catches on the long, flowing robes of this Avatar of Shar situation that's happening.
Yeah, I think the cloud kill is like still kind of hanging on Solar, and it's like the lightning inside their chest is kind of like sputtering and reacting, so they can't get a good hit in.
For sure. All right,
And that would be my turn.
That brings us to Patches with Mathia on deck.
Fantastic. I want to use all my movement, so I'm going to run 30 feet and then jump far as I can because she got quite a bit away from me.
Yeah.
So 30 there, and then I jump another 19 feet, so another 20 feet. Put me on the other side if that's enough to do
We'll
so.
say it is, for sure. You just gotta scramble around a little bit and make it there.
And then, I don't know if you can believe it, but these attacks are actually going to be reckless, gang, if we can imagine such a world. Which is good because one of those is a natural 1, and the other one is a 17?
Meets it, beats it.
Oh, thank the Lord. And for the second attack, God is dead. So the second attack misses, but the first one does hit, and that is only 7 points of slashing damage from the tail.
All right, and your claws are also magical. I feel like I know that.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Kill.
So then as you slash across, we'll have Zadrin make that con save as you feel the phantom claws slash across you as well.
23 again.
All right, so you... No, you don't. You passed, so you don't take any damage. There we go. That's the thing.
And that is my turn.
All right. And then we are on to Mathia.
Excellent. Am I 30 feet away from him or no?
25.
25. I will love to take 30 feet, get up in this guy's business, as one would say.
All right, you guys are all up in there.
I would love to go ahead and as my action cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay, all right, we get the big boy circle out now.
And name all of my allies as being protected.
All right, excellent. Just move that out of the way and go like this. Right around Mathia. Get out of here, climb kill. Okay, so that is what we have going on, and that's a save on their turn, correct?
I believe it is when they start and
Enter for the first time.
yeah, is both enter and start turn.
Okay.
So that is a 16 whiz.
Okay, 16 wisdom. What's this? Okay, so that'll be the a 7 plus a 2 for a 9 on that save. I mean, I guess they'll resist it.
All right, so it'll take half damage.
Okay.
So 10 reduced to 5 radiant damage.
All right. And as that damage hits the Lich, Zadrin will feel that burning go over his body as well and make that con save.
9 plus 7 gets us to 16.
All right, so you will
And
take.
I'm going to go ahead and burn my last flash of genius to duck this.
Okay, all right. That is, we got up to.
Oh, no, actually, I have one more. Cool.
Okay, so then it all just kind of hits the Lich, and they just sort of look down once again, very imperious. Still not looking too bad, but there's a little bit of ripping going on around some of the clothing, I guess. And that was Matthia's turn, so we are back at the top with this horrifying Lich who looks down at all of you, gathered so closely around it. Yeah, it'll do that. That's what it'll do. And it will use...
It's starting its turn, correct?
Oh yeah, it's starting its turn. What am I
Yep.
doing?
It needs to repeat the wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, natural 18 plus 2.
That
20.
saves.
Okay.
So that is 7 reduced to 3 points of radiant damage.
All right, and Zadrin will feel that little bit of damage coming for them.
Okay. Here we go. So that's 17. You know what? No, I'm it's final boss fight, survivability, last flash of genius.
It would only be 1 point of damage, though.
Oh, all right, yeah, okay, I'll eat it.
All right.
Benevolent GM is benevolent.
I'm sure they'll come up with something way, way worse. Like right now. Yeah, okay. So then we're back at the top with the Lich, who just took a little bit of damage from this glowing flock of anvils and stuff around it. Is that, yeah. And it is going to go ahead and just looking down at all of you. It is going to sort of rub its hands together as green and black globules appear, and sort of just in the same way that the cloud kill begin to come up from the ground, this kind of falls from its hands and goes down towards the ground. And we are going to have you all make... Yep, everyone, make a Constitution saving throw yet again as this magic begins to swirl around your feet and move up your legs.
Natural 20!
Nice.
God bless.
Natural 19 for 21.
Excellent.
15 for moon, 14 for solar.
All right, those are fails.
I rolled a 3, so that's 11.
Okay, so if you passed, you are going to go ahead and take 10 points of necrotic damage. If you failed, this wraps around you and you take 21 points of necrotic damage as the green and black energy just sort of seems to suck a little bit of the life out of you.
And you said that was how much on a fail? My apologies.
10. 10. Okay, but we just cross those off, though. That goes right there like that. And here we are, and that is its legendary action. And then it is just as it's in the middle of everyone going to reach out and down at Patches. It's just going to move its hand sort of along your back as you're getting ready to slash at it again. And that sort of spectral hand will try and touch you. 17 to hit?
17 hits.
Okay, excellent. That will be 10 points of cold damage, and can I get a Constitution saving throw from you?
You sure can, my friend. That is 26 on the Constitution save.
All right, you feel that cold hand sort of trace across your back, and you take that little... Did I do damage? Yes, the 10 points of damage. And you feel yourself begin to sort of lock up a little bit as though ice is just encasing you. And then you just sort of shake it off and you are not paralyzed.
That's good.
Yeah.
Those are good words that you just said there.
Yeah. And... yeah. Oh, Lord. That is... I mean, moving around doesn't really get it much if you're just going to keep running at it. So it will stay there, just sort of very unbothered, still not looking too hurt, just kind of glancing down at you as the tether falls away from Zadrin and the ground once again rumbles under your feet. And has... Oops. Oh, that's just way too much damage. Okay, as sort of now coming up from between the stones, much in the same way the wolves made of sod did in the last battle, there are little bits of this like black ichor that sort of are just all coming together to form one giant monster. And it is going to sort of... I'm just going to use this little fella. I don't feel like it has like a body that actually takes any damage. So, but let me read this. Let me just read things. Yeah, it's just going to appear behind you for like this absolute blink of an eye as it swipes out at you, and I'll need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Me? Whom?
Oh, sorry. I'm like over here looking at the minis like this is totally everyone can see, right? That will be Mathia, who they rise up behind and try and slash out at.
18?
18 meets it, so you save, and you will take... What is that we're gonna do? That is... what is it? 10 points of damage. Necrotic damage again. And just as quickly as it appeared, it goes ahead and disappears from behind you, not interacting with anything, but slashing you. And that will be the Layer's turn, and the Lich just went. So we are back at the top of the players with Zadrin and Solar on deck.
Okay. I have two options here, and the first of which is I'm going to be looking over at Solar, trying to see how fucked up they are.
Solar is a little less than half. I think they have a nice, horrible little nosebleed that's kind of gushing out. Moon doesn't look so good. But there's a kind of rigid determination in their face, I think.
Okay. That buys me enough time to presently stay where I am and firebolt this Lich in the face.
All right.
You've been very good to me. You are going to remain good to me. That's a natural 18 to hit.
All right, that will hit this Lich with a firebolt to the face.
All right, and that is going to do. Ooh, not bad. That's going to do 11 points of fire damage.
All right, so we'll take those full 11 points as it is tied to nobody right now. And it sort of, a little bit of fire crackles along the side of its hood and then just follows it and goes out on the other side. Okay.
And yeah, the battlefield's looking pretty stationary at this second, so I'm gonna stay here. And bonus action defensive field.
All right. So you have firebolted him, and now you are in a defensive position, and that'll bring us to Solar on the back of Moon.
You got it. I'm gonna start with a bonus action Zephyr Strike yet again, as Moon's not looking too good, and Solar's gonna kind of kick off Pivot, and take Moon about 60 feet back towards the left, trying to get her behind some cover. Ideally as close to the mound as possible, that big thing in the middle. If we could just tuck right back in there, that would be awesome.
All right. That is where we'll get you then, right behind here.
And as they're moving really fast, this like breeze almost like picking up around them, they step off of Moon's back, kind of like press their head to hers, like nuzzle into her fur before cresting up on top of that little square pillar thing that's right in front of them. And I'm going to take a few shots with that beautiful little short bow that you gave me. The first one is going to have advantage because of Zephyr Strike.
All right.
Okay, that is going to be 23 to hit with the first one.
Yeah, it'll absolutely hit.
And a 19 to hit with the second one.
And we'll hit again.
Okay, beautiful. So that is going to be some damage. 19 points of piercing damage, and 8 points of force damage on that one. As like they knock like one arrow after another, and just like fire it right into this thing.
The arrows strike very true this time, just kind of finding like weak spots in this like odd undulating body. And again, as this thing is just staring you down, the face of the goddess sort of flashes over it and goes, "You could be one of us. All that skill and so much more power." As that face floats away. Anything else from Solar?
I think there's a small like little huff. Yeah, I saw exactly what you did for Elric. I'd rather die.
All right. And that brings us to Patches with Mathia on deck.
Fantastic. Patches is going to sort of like look up to this thing and continue talking to themselves. And I'm going to start by making 2 attacks against this Lich.
Excellent.
Recklessly, if you can believe it.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is a 27 to hit.
That'll hit.
And the second one is a natural 20.
Let's go.
Murder
so
time.
Rolling the normal first. This is why you multi-class with caution, kids, because this could have been a brutal critical. So the first was... So that's 7 points of piercing on the regular one.
Okay.
And then... okay. And then... 20 points of damage on the crit. I rolled max damage.
Excellent.
So on the first cut, Patch is sort of just muttering to themselves and saying, "This isn't good. It's too fast. It still has so much magic. We don't know what's going to happen." And then the eyes sort of like bleed like a seafoam green color, and a slightly different voice says, "Calm down, Patches. You know what you're doing." And I'm going to use my bonus action to drop my rage.
Oh, okay. All right. Anything else from Patches right now?
Nope. That's the end of my turn.
An enigmatic turn. Mythia, what can we, what are you up to?
I kind of dig my feet into the ground, getting myself into a stronger stance. I put the shield kind of to my side, take the mace, flip it around, put it into the ground like this, and I go, "By the hammer of Moradin, I am your weapon and shield. For you, Lady Selune, I will strike your sister." And as I raise up my mace, I bonus action spiritual weapon, and it creates the mace comes and creates like a duplicate, and hopefully we get a hit followed by a hit.
All right.
With the actual mace.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
It's only a, wait, 17 to hit on the spiritual weapon?
Meets it, beats it.
All right. It's only 5 points of force damage.
Okay.
Take that. We take that.
And then for my hit, it's only a 13.
13 to hit?
Yeah.
That will not hit.
Yeah.
So you sort of, they are now looking rough and are sort of like looking down as you make this proclamation, more at like the damage that is being done to them than you even. And you hit them with the first little bit of that mace, and they sort of just stumble back just out of the way enough for the other one to miss as it comes down and just smashes into the stone below and just sunders a big crater in the floor. So look real badass. Which now brings us to the top, and this very confused and injured creature that thought it was going to be able to mop the floor with you and become one of Selune's, or Shar's few and chosen. So it will start off
by making a wisdom saving throw.
It will start off by making a wisdom saving throw. Let's go. Natural 8 or 18 on the die.
That saves. So 13 reduced to 6.
Okay, we do math, and what is that? Okay, that is, they are looking extremely rough and kind of still looking at this damage that has been done to them now as this like sort of crackling divine energy moves up the back of their robes. They just try and kind of step and stumble backwards out of the circle away from you all. At the same time, or slightly before they do that, they are going to cast a mirror image. So as they step away, you're seeing not one, not two, 4 of these figures just sort of moving incredibly quickly, trying to avoid getting hit by you again. So, you know, if anyone has something to try and hit them with, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to
Yeah.
do a bit of a swingy swang.
For sure.
That's a 23 to hit.
That... Did I just roll under that? No, okay. That one swings out and just hits with the duplicate, and this just explodes into nothingness in that little burst of green and black energy as they still continue to stumble away from you as Matthias swings.
21 to hit.
That will... Oh, that will... again, you also swing out with this mace that is still glowing with energy, and it hits one of the duplicates, and they also explode in that energy. So where you were seeing 4, there are now 2 of this gigantic figure, sort of almost hunched over in pain as it tries to move back and away from you all. Yeah, it's just his little turn. And then he will go ahead. We did that one. And why'd I zoom in on the screen? I can't read shit.
Me just chugging water nervously.
Like, I'm just like,
Right.
is
Gotta
this...
hydrate.
Does this
I
one,
have
like...
arranged my dice in a line like 10 different ways.
Does this murder? Is that what happens?
No!
Oh, shit.
No! No!
I'm gonna go ahead and
Yes,
say no.
that-
That's
that
the
does-
answer.
If it is what I think it is, yes, that does. Just murder.
That seems mean. That seems real mean. I don't feel like I should do that.
No, come on.
It's up to you.
TPK.
Campaign 2 just becomes journey to find a wish spell.
Exactly.
Lord in heaven. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry. I apologize about this creature's spell list and nothing else. Okay, so what is going to happen is this creature, doubled over in pain, is going to kind of, with the face flashing between this goddess who's starting to look a little bit panicked, like she didn't quite think that her sister would be able to get the better of her this way, and the Arch Druid that you knew from your hometown, with his jaw sort of just hanging off and a deep fear in his eyes, he is going to turn and point at you, Zadrin, and be like, at least neither of us will see town again, and power word kill you? So you will drop dead instantly as this Lich continues to take its few steps back this way, away from everyone. We'll just kind of set you down here like this, little buddy. I don't know how. Okay. And that is the Lich's turn, as it has moved away from you. But in one last desperate attempt to save this Lich, the layer will go ahead and kind of coalesce again with that black magic. And this time it will go ahead and attach to Mathia one more time, as it just tries to almost like... It looks like it is trying in its last desperate attempt to just absolutely destroy any of you that it can. But that's its turn, and that's also the layer action. And that brings us to... Is it Zadrin? Who's... Are we just dead? I'm so sorry.
I mean, well, so I've never been power word killed before, so
I've
I
never
don't,
used power word kill, so...
If you have less than 100 hit points currently, then final words? Because, yep, it's death.
I apologize deeply.
Okay.
You just
I guess the only thing that just kind of like I imagine for Zadrin, like he's studied enough, he knows enough magic. When he sees this Lich start making those movements, he recognizes what's coming and recognizes that he's got nothing in his bag of tricks that's gonna stop this. So all he does is just looks up straight in the Lich's eyes and says, "They won't let you live to regret this."
The eyes that you are looking into are that of the Arch Druid, who looks genuinely terrified at not just this proclamation, but the dwindling chances that it has of making it out of here. And that brings us to Solar.
All right, GM. I'm gonna do some stuff. I'm gonna try some stuff, and you'll tell me if it works or not. Solar, seeing Zadrin get power word killed, lets out a kind of like hiccuping shock of electricity, and something very deep inside them kind of like falls away. And in its place, this almost like bubbling thrum, this like tiny noise like a rising bell. And Solar casts, I don't think they even mean to, but they cast for the first time Healing Spirit, which summons a nature spirit to soothe the wounded. And I think from this Shadowfell-esque place, if you will allow me, a familiar person alongside an elk comes like in the form of a spirit, like kind of down and surrounds Zadrin's spirit and his body. Either, if you allow it, to heal him, or to protect his spirit from being ripped apart in the Shadowfell. That's what I'm going to attempt to do.
I will say it like stabilizes him and holds him close to where he is presently, and it will make any follow-up actions easier.
Beautiful. As like this elk spirit comes like down and around and starts to encircle like the feeling of like warm wind and whatever like feeling enacts like that of home to you, and like the moment of, I think, like your freedom, like riding on the back of an elk through the field. Like that's the kind of the feeling that washes over your soul, Zadrin, as like Solar accidentally casts its spell. That is a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
So Solar like grit, like their teeth like grit, like not my friends, you fucking lich. And I'm gonna take my 2 shots at it. I had to drop concentration, so they'll both be just normal. That will be first. That will be first a 19 to hit, and
that'll hit.
Natural 20 on the second.
All right, and we can just go with a how do you want to end this creature's life?
Oh shit! All right. As this elk like kind of explodes out of Solar and then like wraps around Zadrin's body, I think it like starts to do a lap. Like the elk like comes up and around the spirit, like running through the Shadowfell, and it passes like through Mathia, it passes through Patches, and like with each of them kind of another, like if it's okay, another kind of spirit like comes almost like from them, like it's gathering like the energy of everyone in the room together. And then it passes through Solar, and all of it kind of melds and transforms into a bear as they let these 2 arrows fly together, like they're the bear's eyes, the tips of the arrow, and they just lodge directly into the center of the Lich's chest where its heart should be, and like comes straight out the other side.
Mm-hmm. And as it exits the backside, it is kind of carrying with it that little bit of black energy you have seen come off so many things that you have destroyed in your time fighting this darkness. And just kind of in the same way it's looked for the last few moments, it kind of looks down at its chest, confused, and then it just begins to crack and like crush into itself as all of this magical energy then begins to just rapidly spin around it, and you are getting pulled in 2 directions. The same kind of wind that you were seeing before is now once again sucking you in and back towards this portal, which is looking distinctly unstable, as the Lich is also being pulled into itself and creating a little bit of a buffeting between these 2. But all of you are being pulled towards the portal. Zadrin is moving along with Patches, just coming in behind them, and Mathia, though on a knee, starts to also move towards the portal, and you are going to be compelled through it as this world just begins to sort of lift, and all the sand around stops for that moment, and then it just explodes in a scream as though you are hearing a god losing this battle that they thought they could so easily win. And
if possible, during this commotion, I am propelling myself forward and trying to get to Zadrin's body.
Absolutely. Yeah, you will all crash into the long hall, but we'll take our break there as you are back surrounding Zadrin in your own world.
Stress scream.
I'm sorry. It's a lich. It was okay. Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll have to wait a couple of days for the exciting conclusion to this episode. If you are joining us on the old Twitch, we'll be back in just about 5 minutes after everyone stress pees and stress drinks some water, and all that good stuff. So we will see you back here in a few minutes or in a few days on ye old YouTubes.